A very good morning to you. Welcome back to Morning Live. Now, the Spar Proteas national team, who finished 2024 on a high as the #1 ranked team in Africa, start the new year with an exciting challenge when they travel to the Caribbean to take on Jamaica in the 3-test Margaret Beckford Sunshine series out in Kingston. The In-form Jamaica recently moved into 3rd spot behind Australia and New Zealand in terms of the world rankings after beating England in a test series. To preview this match, we've roped in 2 people who have played an important part and role in the past in terms of the Proteas side that has in the past gone up against Jamaica. That is former Proteas Coach Elize Kotze, as well as former Proteas captain Amanda Mynhardt. Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports on Morning Live.
Good morning. Wonderful to be here.
A very good morning to you, Amanda, as well. Coach Elize, let me start with you because we look at this Proteas side and how they had such a good end to the year, being the African champions out in Namibia. And certainly that's where Coach Jenny and her troops will be looking to start off as they go up against a 3rd-ranked Jamaica. How do you see this 3-match test playing out between the 2 countries?
I'm extremely excited about us at last playing the top in the world. I mean, that's the only place where you can see where you are, especially for Coach Jenny at the moment. She would like to see where her team is, or South African team is featuring in the top of the world. I think for the first time we field a very balanced side against Jamaica. I've watched the Jamaican series and obviously following the Spar Proteas, that's very close to my heart. But for sure, we have, for the first time, 15 first-liners that went on tour.
Oh, that sounds very, very interesting. Amanda, let me bring you into the conversation because you've led this Proteas side in the past. And I just want to touch on, you look at Kanyisa, who's, of course, the new captain of the Proteas, and she being the captain that led the team to victory out in Namibia at the end of the year. She'll surely be looking as well to pick up from where they left off, being the player of the tournament out in Namibia.
Yeah, I think it's a massive challenge for Casey to see how successful they can be on their first Jamaican tour, but also it just leaves a room for her to really prove something and to start something new. There's not a lot of these players that have played Jamaica before, so I think it's an opportunity still for her as a captain and to establish something in the team culture as well. So yes, it is daunting as a captain going over to Kingston for the first time with a new squad, but I think it's also a massive opportunity for her and the rest of the team.
And it really is something exciting for her and the rest of the team to look forward to. But Coach Elize, you know, when we go into games of this magnitude and a test series like this one, we can't help but look at what the stats tell us about what's happened in the past. And you look at South Africa Proteas going up against the Sunshine Girls, 18 encounters in total. And of those 18, we've only managed to be victorious in 3 encounters. But we'll never forget that World Cup victory, 55-52, if I'm not mistaken, when we aged the Sunshine Girls. How much does that then play into the minds of Coach Jenny as well as the girls going up against the Sunshine Girls this time around? Or is it just saying we're playing against number 3 in the world and we want to get the best experience we can out of this in order to strengthen our team and our team depth moving forward?
If we look at the Jamaican side, if you look at the defense combination in Sterling and in Wilson, I mean, both of them playing in the Suncorp, and at the moment, I think Sterling is the absolute Messi of netball. She's an acrobat. She's a gymnast on court. She can, she counters. I mean, she read the game extremely well. So that would be a challenge. But I also do believe that every player has a bit of a weakness and can be counted. And therefore, I put my trust in Jenny and team management that Jenny is an extremely good analyst. And for sure, she'll go into that game, every and each player being analyzed up to the T. So I'll give at the moment, Jamaica is not the most or the best team actually to start with youngsters. But if we look at the two circles, I just quickly want to say for the first time we match them when it comes to height. I mean, we even beat them when it comes to Nicola Smit and when it comes to Ine-Marie van Venter and van den Berg. So I'm a forever optimist when it comes to the Spar Proteas, and I know what they can do. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. They go into a team who's got a lot of confidence just coming out of the England series and taking the England series and moved up a spot on the world rankings. But there's players, I think, physically and potential-wise, we can match them. My concern is the mental toughness and to get basically onto that court with Jamaica. It can be quite intimidating.
Oh, I can hear you there in terms of just that intimidation, but you speak of a couple of players there, and we also know Ine-Marie van den Berg when it comes to shooting, absolutely amazing. Amanda, I want to talk to you quickly about the importance of going up against Jamaica when it comes to the baby Spar Proteas, because we know that they've travelled with their senior team and just them getting that experience and competition in ahead of the the Youth World Cup out in Gibraltar in September. How important is this for the baby Proteas?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the baby Proteas to match themselves up against the Jamaican team. Like Elize have mentioned, the Jamaicans are such incredible athletes when it comes to physicality and what they can do. How quickly they can move on court is really scary once you play against them and you feel them moving. So I think, again, for the under-21s, they're still figuring out who is the best team to take to the Junior World Cup. And these players will get tested now. They will see who can absorb the pressure firstly, but I think also who of those youngsters can actually play against that physicality of the Jamaicans. And I think it's a great space for them to try it out and see how they go before they go onto the World Cup stage.
Indeed. And finally, Coach Elize, I know that we have a Carla Proteas who is being rested for this tour. Speak to us about a Samarie Visser coming in her place. What are your thoughts on that?
It's not the ideal to go without Proteas on such a tour, but I understand the circumstance. But one of the most exciting players that I've been followed the past season was Visser. Visser is an absolute natural, fearless defender. I remember when I saw Carla first, when I met her, and when I just thought she's immaculate and one of the best defenders in the world. Visser has been waiting for opportunity. It would have been nice when it was most probably a less dominant country. But I have so much faith in that player. If you followed and watched her at Fast 5, I mean, she was a player of the match at one of the games. Visser for me, I never want him to say always that will be the next Proteas. Visser will be the next Visser, but she is definitely a player that will take over the world arena. I have confidence in her a lot.
Oh, I love that, Coach Elize. Visser will be the next Visser. And unfortunately, we have run out of time. That's the note in which we'll have to wrap up this interview. Speaking to Coach Elize Kotze, former Proteas coach, as well as former Proteas captain, and Amanda Mynhardt, just about South Africa going up against the third-ranked Jamaica. The first set of action takes place tomorrow.